These days, people are taking pictures of the food and posting them to Instagram before they even take a bite. And there does seem to be a new diet plan every day. First, we did paleo, then we did gluten-free, then we did the juice cleanse. I mean, we, like the collective public, not we. There is a new book that tackles all of this. It's called Devoured. How what we eat defines who we are. It takes a look at the American food culture and why we eat what we eat. Yesterday, I was so happy to sit down with the author, Sophie Egan. Let's start by talking about this notion of having 3 square meals a day, maybe a snack in the afternoon. That's history.
Today, Americans are snacking more than ever. We are eating at least 2 to 3 times a day, snacks that is, and many people are eating 100 calories every 2 hours. All the lines have been blurred between times you eat and times you don't eat. And there's really no sort of social etiquette worked out around that.
Right. There's a lot of, we talk about our newsroom setting. This person has a bag of peanut M&Ms on their desk. There was chips in the newsroom kitchen the other day. A lot of people don't have they'll eat this throughout the day, but then they'll feel like, oh, I didn't have lunch. I can have a big dinner.
Absolutely. There is really this mindset that's been perpetuated by a number of nutritionists that, it's healthier for your metabolism to eat a few small meals throughout the day. But that's great in principle when in reality, you're just adding snacks to the meals that you're going to eat anyway. So in total, we're actually eating more calories than we were before.
Something I'm seeing a lot of now that I didn't see even just 2 or 3 years ago. Of course, we just went through the unicorn frappuccino craze, right? Some food is almost made for Instagram, and people want to show that they've tried it by taking a picture of it first. The food companies are figuring this out.
Oh, absolutely. So this is a whole category of foods that in my book, I talk about stunt foods. This is like clickbait, right? These are foods that are so shocking, so unbelievable, so over-the-top nutritional train wrecks that you kind of can't help but react. They kind of shake you out of your common sense, things you would never put in your mouth in your right mind. And they're absolutely part of this kind of experiential resume. This is something really interesting I learned in the marketing literature, where we want to accumulate novel and interesting food experiences throughout our lives.
Because nobody cares if I ate a regular taco, but when it comes to the, let's say, the Doritos Locos taco, now that's something that goes on my timeline.
Absolutely. Obtaining that experience of the DLT, people would post this on Instagram. It was like, I've lived a full life because I've tried the DLT. I've been there, done that foreign terrain. Yeah. But absolutely, this desire to collect these novel experiences is driving our food choices in rather bizarre ways. The unicorn frappuccino is just the latest example.
I suppose I'm a pretty boring person. I'm a big home cook, and nobody wants to hear about that on Instagram. Do you find that more and more people are trending away from good old-fashioned home cooking from scratch, perhaps thanks in large part to some of the meal delivery or the ingredient delivery services we see popping up here in the Bay Area?
I absolutely see this. So one of the most stunning statistics that I found in my research was that Americans spend the least amount of time of any of the major developed countries cooking food. We actually also spend the least amount of time eating food. But on the cooking front, we're spending about half as much time as we did 50 years ago preparing food for ourselves. So increasingly, we're outsourcing the meal making to professionals. Many of us don't have confidence in the kitchen, so we rely on delivery services, meal kits to do the work for us, and really represents a larger loss of food literacy. And really, it says that food doesn't matter. It's not important. It's just fuel, and someone else can take care of it while I get back to the things that truly matter in my day.
When I read your book, Devoured, I felt a little twinge of guilt, and I think some people might leave the book with a feeling of, okay, great, I know what I'm doing wrong. Give us one thing we can do right going forward.
I would say take a lunch break, a real live lunch break, where you leave your desk instead of taking part in the national epidemic known as sad desk lunch. Yes. I've seen a great example. Actually, I saw this on Instagram called a lunch bunch, where you and 4 colleagues or 4 friends, you divide up the 5 days of the week and you cook for each other and you commit to each day at whatever time works. You take 30 minutes. It'll clear out the kind of mental cobwebs, give you an energy boost, and odds are you're going to eat something with much more intentionality, much more mindful choice than if you just stroll into a cafeteria and eat whatever smells delicious.
Okay, we've all fallen into that trap. Well, Sophie Egan, the book is Devoured. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.